this is completely off the bat, but our little performance, it was inspired because we thought that, you know, beauty in the television, beauty in the media, beauty these days is just so overrated. And people go to any lengths from a very young age, you know, to do drastic things to become their version of beautiful. So hopefully this opened your eyes to see how really crazy beauty really is.
Please welcome Thanya, who's going to speak about Utopia. Thank you.
I actually my speech kind of unconscious. So stay with me. A world where cookies grow on trees. A world where when you eat cheese, you become slimmer. Man, I'd be the skinniest woman on earth. And a world where every hot guy plays a trombone. Or any hot guy for that matter plays a trombone. This is my utopia. Please take a moment and consider what your utopia is. Consider. Does anyone want to share anything? None at all? Yeah?
I like this.
Yes, what's your utopia?
Wouldn't it be nice if the world was cat-free?
Okay, well let's have a look at what will make my world definitely not a utopia. A world where I didn't have my iPhone. A world where there was no internet, which regularly happens to me now. Because my brother's finished the HSC, and all he does is sit at home and watch YouTube videos. So I'm capped like 24/7. And then a world with no TV and no friends, as in the TV show. Like I can replace my real friends. It's all good. But let's take a look at Chad in Africa. Their utopia is everything. They don't have an iPod. They don't have the TV show friends. They probably have real friends, unlike me. They don't have internet, and they're not capped 24/7 because they don't have internet. But to them, utopia is completely different. Utopia is a world where you have a meal a day, where you have enough to live for yourself, and where you can do something in the world, get better, move forward in some direction. So this kind of shows you how everyone's utopia is so different. And I've always been learning utopia right now in English. And the reason people think utopia cannot exist is because everyone has differing views. But I think differently. Utopia should be able to exist because we all have differing views. I've coined a random term, which I hope I can explain so it'll make sense, which I think is called personal utopia. You know, like for each individual, we should all aim for our own utopia. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to get every hot guy, or any hot guy for that matter, to play the trombone, because they probably don't want to. But that's okay, because I think utopia is just being happy, just living a positive life. And that means that when each person has a different utopia, each person has a different view. But the reason why we can't have utopia at the moment is not because we have different views, it's because we can't appreciate or understand each other's views. And therefore, I think the thing that's lacking in our world today is empathy. We don't have empathy for each other. We don't have empathy to consider, oh, what she said might be right. Oh, what he thinks might be right. And maybe hot guys have a right to not play the trombone. No, we don't think about stuff like that. So, because the world today is beautiful because everyone has different views. Because everyone is different, unique, and beautiful. And they don't have to get plastic surgery to be beautiful either. So what I'm trying to say is, we should all try to have more empathy. And by having more empathy, and by considering other people's views, we can have utopia. Because utopia isn't a world where we're all like robots and we all do the same thing and we all look the same. It's about when we can live happily in a harmonious life. Well, I'm a big Tumblr addict, and like I just like scroll through pages of Tumblr when I'm sad. And once I found this picture and it said, the 3 things you need to happy life. Something to hope for, something to love, and something to look forward to. And for everyone, this is so different. Love, to me, it's important to love your friends. It's important to look forward, to think that there's something beyond the little bubble you live in, or the exam you're stressing over. And what was the last thing? Oh yeah, and something to, I can't remember what the last thing was. But anyway, when you look at Utopia today, people think it's all about order and control and everyone being the same. But I'd like to give an example to you about like order. Like for example, cadets. I'm a part of cadets, and I only joined this year, and it works so well. Because cadets is such a strictly regulated environment, and like everyone has fun because of all the order and all the levels of like authority there are. But this doesn't work for everyone. I have a friend in the school called Kathy Zhang, and she's just like, she's so crazy. Like she's like, cadets, what? I don't want to be told what to do. But you know, she lives a happy life. She lives in a happy world. And so you don't need control to be happy. You just need to make sure that everyone around you is happy. If you looked at every person around you today and made sure they were happy, we would all live in a utopia. 2 nights ago, the night before formal, I went to a speaking competition at Rotary. And we were sitting down having dinner, and I was talking to the Rotarians. And this one man called Rob told me, when we greet someone, we go, "Hi, how are you?" And then we don't even expect them to tell us what they really mean. Like they just "How are you?" is just a formality now. Like, okay, today morning you might have said, "Hi, what's up? How are you?" like 500 times to your friends. But did you really mean it? Did you ever stop to think and ask them what their worry was? This is sad to say, but the answer was probably no. So if you said, every time you said "How are you?" if you actually meant it, like how great would that be? Because when friends tell you their worries, or when they talk to you about something that's bothering them, the burden is released off them, but you don't feel bad. Like every single time you help someone, you feel so good, and they feel so good. So if every single time you ask someone, "How are you doing today?" and you actually meant it, and you actually waited for a reply, the world would be a utopia. If you had empathy, the world would be a utopia. Okay. So I wanted to talk to you about technology, because I love technology. And one of the things that really interests me is social media at the moment, and how social media, for example, when Twitter first came out, things people would tweet was like, "Hey, I'm having a sandwich, it's so delicious, are you jealous of me?" But then over the past couple of years, so many global tragedies have gripped the world. And if you look at it, social media has come to the rescue in each instance. Like things like Twitter were used so that people could contact everyone on the internet and tell them, "Oh, I'm trapped here, come help me, come save me." So and the reason social media works so well is because everyone uses it, and because we're all so interconnected. So I think because if you look at technology, if you look at why it works, and apply that to your everyday life, the main reason for it to work is interconnectivity. Everyone uses it. Everyone's, having, you form relationships and friendships and everything on the internet or through technology. So if you applied that same model to your life, if you were connected with everyone, if you really reached out for help in real life, the world would be a utopia. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, the utopia is achievable. But the thing is, it's a personal utopia, and utopia is different from everyone. So don't try and be like, "Oh, every guy has to play the trombone," because it's not going to happen. But you can take small steps. Try and be happy, and try and make sure that everyone around you is happy, and utopia will become a possibility. Albert Einstein once said, "Everybody is a genius." But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend its whole life thinking it's an idiot. And that's the same thing with everyone. If you think that everyone's view is wrong, everyone's view that's not yours is completely false, then they will live their whole life being sad and not being able to express themselves. So basically what I'm trying to say is, have empathy for people. Make sure that when you say "How are you?" you really mean it. And today, give someone a hug, ask them how they are, and really sit there and listen. And step by step, we can build a utopia together. Thank you.